Your tomb is empty now. That's not poetry. That's not motivation. That's a spiritual announcement being delivered to a very specific group of people. And if you felt something shift in your chest when you read that, you are one of them. You didn't find this video. This video found you. Because there is a category of human being that doesn't belong to the ordinary rhythm of life. They suffer differently. They wait differently. They carry something so heavy, so sacred, so misunderstood that even the people closest to them cannot fully see it. That's you. You have been in a season that felt like burial, like everything you built was taken, like every prayer you sent up disappeared into silence, like God forgot your address. But here's what nobody told you about tombs. Tombs are not endings. Tombs are preparation rooms. What looks like death from the outside is transformation on the inside. And here is the revelation that is about to change the way you see yourself forever. The reason it took this long is because what's coming through you is too big to be rushed. The delay was not punishment. The silence was not rejection. The darkness was not abandonment. It was incubation. And right now, in this moment, heaven is declaring that the incubation period is over. The stone is rolled away. Walk out. If this message is speaking directly to your spirit right now, drop the word chosen in the comments and subscribe, because what's coming next on this channel was made specifically for people like you. Part 1. The weight you carried that nobody understood. There is a specific kind of loneliness that only chosen ones know. It's not the loneliness of being alone in a room. It's the loneliness of being in a crowd and feeling like you're speaking a different language, like you're tuned to a frequency nobody else can hear. You tried to explain it. You tried to share the vision. You tried to let people in, and they smiled politely and they moved on, and you stood there wondering if maybe you were the problem. You started to shrink. You started to edit yourself. You started to question whether the thing burning inside you was real or just arrogance dressed up as purpose. But let me tell you something. Eagles don't get validated by pigeons. The weight you carried, the misunderstanding, the isolation, the long nights where you wrestled with your own mind, that wasn't a sign that you were broken. That was the sign that you were being forged. Every great person in history went through a season of hiddenness. Joseph was thrown in a pit. David was overlooked by his own father. Moses spent 40 years in the desert before he saw the burning bush. The pit was not punishment. It was positioning. The desert was not abandonment. It was preparation. And your hiddenness, the years where nobody saw you, nobody promoted you, nobody understood you, was the most sacred part of your story. Because God doesn't develop greatness in public. He develops it in private. In the silence, in the struggle, in the seasons that look like failure from the outside, but feel like fire from the inside. You were not passed over. You were passed through. And everything you lost in that process, every relationship that fell away, every door that closed, every dream that seemed to die, it was clearing space. It was making room. It was aligning the universe for what was already written about you before you were born. The weight wasn't a curse. The weight was a crown being fitted, and it's almost ready.
Part 2. Why the silence lasted so long. There's something God never explains in the moment. He doesn't send a memo. He doesn't give you a timeline. He doesn't sit you down and say, here's why I'm making you wait. Here's the exact date it ends. He just lets you wait. And in that waiting, most people break. Most people compromise. Most people walk away from the very thing they were chosen for because the silence became too loud to bear. But you didn't walk away. You're still here. And that is everything. Because the silence was never God's absence. The silence was God's protection. Think about this. When something is being built at the highest level, the construction site is loud, chaotic, messy. But when something is being assembled with divine precision, it's quiet. The silence you experienced was surgical. God was removing what couldn't come with you. He was detaching you from people whose ceiling was your floor. He was healing wounds you didn't even know you had, wounds that would have sabotaged your breakthrough if they hadn't been addressed first. The silence was a mercy. And here's something that will reframe your entire story. You prayed for the breakthrough, but God was also preparing you to carry it without it destroying you. Because some people receive their blessing too early, and it breaks them. The money comes before the discipline, the platform comes before the character, the relationship comes before the healing, and it collapses. God looked at you and said, "Not yet." Not because you weren't worthy, but because you weren't ready to hold it without losing yourself in it. He was protecting the breakthrough by protecting you first. Every day of delay was a day of strengthening. Every closed door was a redirection. Every moment of silence was God whispering, "I'm still working. Trust the process you cannot see." And now, the process is complete. The silence is breaking. The season is turning. And what's about to manifest in your life will make every single day of waiting make perfect, undeniable sense. Part 3. The signs your breakthrough is already here. You need to hear this carefully. Your breakthrough didn't arrive yesterday. It didn't arrive today. It arrived before you could see it. God doesn't deliver breakthroughs the way Amazon delivers packages. He doesn't knock on your door and hand you a box. He plants the breakthrough in the invisible realm first, and then walks it into manifestation through signs, through shifts, through divine alignments you almost missed. So let me ask you something. Have you been waking up at strange hours lately? 3 a.m., feeling called to pray but not knowing why? Have you had moments of sudden clarity, like a veil lifted and you could see your purpose more sharply than ever before? Have you felt a strange restlessness, like something inside you is too big for the container you've been living in? Have old connections been dissolving and unexpected new ones appearing? These are not coincidences. These are coordinates. Heaven uses restlessness as a compass. That discomfort you feel, that something has to change sensation in your bones, that is not anxiety. That is activation. Your spirit knows what your mind hasn't caught up to yet. The breakthrough is already in motion. You just have to stop looking for it in the places you've been looking. It's not coming through the door you've been watching. It's coming through a door you haven't even noticed yet. That's how God moves. He's not predictable. He's not logical. He's not bound by your timeline or your understanding or your plan. He just shows up, suddenly, supernaturally, in ways that leave no doubt. And people around you will see the shift. They will say something is different about you. They won't be able to name it, but they'll feel it. Because when a chosen one walks into their season, the atmosphere changes. Your breakthrough isn't coming. It's already here, cracking through the surface. Watch carefully now.
Part 4. What God is asking you to do right now. This is the part most people skip. They want the breakthrough. They claim the breakthrough. They post about the breakthrough, but they don't prepare for it. And God is asking you right now, in this season, to do 3 things that will determine whether you receive what's been prepared for you. The first thing is this: stop explaining yourself to people who were never meant to understand your assignment. Every minute you spend trying to justify your vision to someone with no capacity to hold it is a minute stolen from the preparation for your destiny. You were not called to convince the skeptics. You were called to move in obedience and let the results speak. Release the need to be understood. The second thing is this: begin to act like the version of yourself that already has it. Not fake it, not perform it, but genuinely step into the identity of the person on the other side of the breakthrough. How do they think? How do they speak? How do they protect their time and energy? How do they show up in a room? Become that person now, before the evidence arrives. Because faith is not waiting for proof. Faith is moving in the direction of what you believe before you can see it.
And the third thing, and this is the most important, surrender the timeline. Not the dream, not the vision, not the calling, but the timeline. Stop fighting the clock. Stop grieving the years. Stop measuring your progress by what other people your age have already achieved. Your story was never supposed to look like their story. God is not running behind. He is running exactly on time. And when His time arrives, nothing on earth can stop what He has prepared for you. Not your past, not your mistakes, not your enemies, not your doubts, nothing. So, here's what I need you to receive today. You have been waiting. You have been faithful. You have held on when everything inside you screamed to let go. And that faithfulness was seen. Every tear was collected. Every prayer was recorded. Every morning you woke up and chose to keep going when you had every reason to quit. That was noticed by the one who authored your story. And today, heaven is signing off. Not metaphorically, not as a nice idea, spiritually, literally, in the invisible realm that creates what becomes visible. God just signed off on your breakthrough. The angels are moving on your behalf right now. Doors are unlocking that have been sealed for years. Relationships are being positioned. Resources are being redirected. Opportunities are being aligned. And all of it is converging on your life in this season, in this moment. Your tomb is empty. The stone was rolled away, not by your effort, not by your strategy, not by your hustle, but by divine decree. All you have to do now is walk out. Walk out of the old identity. Walk out of the old story. Walk out of the season of hiddenness and step into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. This is your time, chosen one. It was always going to be your time, and it is now. If this message changed something in you today, subscribe to this channel. What's coming next was made for you. Don't miss it.